All right, so today you're going to be looking at some new information. Let's see, there you go. New information. It's like you're blending old and together with like current information for how to solve for force. So, for example, for number one, we have here a free body diagram. And the free body diagram is providing you with, let's see, 12 kilograms here, which is the mass. Go ahead and write this down. And it's also providing you with 4 meters per second squared, and it's A, so that is acceleration. I'm not going to write out the full acceleration, but you should. Well, actually, yes, I will. Okay. So here you're going to be solving for force, or you're going to be solving not just for force. So I'll correct this, but for either mass, acceleration, or force, like you've been practicing. The first thing that you do is write out the equation. I guess I can't do that. Okay, cool. So the equation is force equals mass times acceleration. Do you have force? Are you going to identify and circle the mass, acceleration, and / or force? We've already done the acceleration and the mass because we do not know the force. So we are solving for force. So now we're going to plug the values into the formula. Force equals our mass, which is 12, times our acceleration, which is 4. So now force equals 12 times 4, that is 48. Okay, we are solved with the numerical value. Now we need to use the correct unit. The unit for force is newtons. If you don't know that, go back to your reference sheet because it has it there. See, this is easy. You all know how to do this. Now, let's go on to number 2 because it's a bit different. You still have this free body diagram. Okay, here I'll correct this because you are not solving for force. You're just going to solve for whichever is missing. Now, the first thing we're going to do, as is in the steps, is just to write out the force equation. You write it, the more you know it. The second thing that we do is identify and circle the mass, acceleration, and force values. Well, we know that this 40 kilograms is the mass because it says kilograms, mass of a block. And we have 2 things here, 60 newtons and 300 newtons. Is that the force, acceleration, or the mass? Yep, these both are the force. So this is where you may get confused. Okay, since they're going in the same direction, they're both going to the right, you add. You have to add both of these forces. Don't solve for both of them. Don't solve for acceleration for both and do like 2 equations. That doesn't make sense. You add the 60 and the 300, which gives you 360 total, okay, because that is the total net force. When we talk about force, we're talking about net force. That is the total net force acting on this object, this block here. Okay, perfect. So we have the mass, we have the force. Now what are we missing? Acceleration, right? So we're missing the acceleration here. Let's go ahead and plug in the values. We have 360 equals, we have the mass, which is 40, and then times A. Okay, so one-step equation, you all should know how to do this. All right, if you don't, go back to the reference sheet because it also tells you, oh, how can I solve for acceleration? But you actually need to know how to do it this way, just by using the regular force equation. So to get rid of we want the A by itself, we need to get rid of the 40 on this side. Right now, the 40 is multiplied by the acceleration. So we divide the 40 to get rid of it, because 40 divided by 40 equals 1. So it would just be 1A. And you do the same thing on the opposite side, right? 360 divided by 40. Okay, so our answer for acceleration, you can go ahead and work this out. It's 360 divided by 40, which gives us 9. Okay, and it's not just 9. Okay, what is the unit for acceleration? 9, that's funny, it looks like an A, 9 meters per second squared. I'll go ahead and rewrite it here. It is 9 meters per second squared. Okay, you can go ahead, if you're online, you can review this over if you need to, this video. If not, then just continue to work on it. So I'm going to bring you to, I'll fix this, this is your actual worksheet. I'm going to bring you to these guys here. So it's a mixture of word problems, you just solve, you have to follow the steps, and then at the bottom it gives you all of these free body diagrams that you're going to practice with, okay? Remember, look at your reference sheet because it's going in the same direction. You add, don't get confused. Going in opposite directions, oh, this is going to the right, this is going to the left. You subtract, okay? Awesome. And then you're going to review this section in the last few minutes of class just so you can go over it. Make sure everything is good to prepare for a quiz on Monday. All right, good job, bye.